A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Professor Dhaval Chandarana, and we are continue on our data compression subject, unit number 6. Guys, I am very happy to announce that today is the last lecture of a unit number 6 as well as a data compression subject. I hope you are going through the previous all the lectures, because if you are miss any of the lectures, then the second, or we can say another lecture which should be depends on a previous lecture, it should be not clear when you see any of the random lecture. So please complete all the lectures which is part of a particular unit, and I will provide the particular topic wise lecture, so it's very easy for you to understand different concept with a separate video. So guys, it is the last lecture of our unit number 6, and on our previous lecture we discussed a vector quantizations, and the one of the most important thing we discuss how to design a code book. As introductions of a vector quantizations, there are the three different process which should be part of a vector quantizations compressions algorithm. In this particular lecture, there are the three different steps. First steps is design a code book, second things encoding procedure, and the third thing it is known as a decoding procedure. So guys, for the importance concept of how to design a code book, we discussed some of the methods on our previous lecture, starting with the Linde-Buzot LBG algorithm. Then our previous lecture we discussed tree structures vector quantizations, and reduce the search complexity we use a prune tree structures vector quantizations. So guys, these are the important concept which we are learning in the unit number 6, and it is the really important concept how to design a code book, because we know that the encoding and decoding procedure are the same for the each and every algorithm, but the designing of code book is different, and based on that we discuss some of the algorithm. And today also we continue on the same things, designing of code book with help of a structures vector quantizer. And behalf of structure vector quantizer, we discuss a three different vector quantizer. First one is pyramid, second one is polar and spherical, and the third one is lattice vector quantizer. And all the three things which should be discussed how to design efficient code book. So guys, we are starting with the today's lecture with help of a structures vector quantizer. In a particular structure vector quantizer, first we discuss what is a structured vector quantizer and how it should be helpful to design efficient code book. The tree structures vector quantizer solves the complexity problem, but the exacerbate the storage problem is there. In short, we can say we are find out the solutions of how to perform or how to reduce the search complexity in a code book with help of tree structures vector quantizer. But there are the one problem which is known as a storage problem, which is also part of a tree structures vector quantizer, because of we are storing each training vector in a tree structures vector quantizer. As a discussion about a tree structure or TSVQ, we discussed that there are all the training vector which should be part of a code books. That's why the storage problem is available. And for the solutions of storage problem, several structures code impose a structures that allow for the reducing the implementation's complexity and also constrain a code word or a code word search. So guys, a structures vector quantizer, or we can say SVQ, it should be a solutions for the complexity of implementations as well as for the searching mechanism. Let us L be the dimensions of VQ, because we know that there are the multiple dimensional image is available in real time example, and for that we need to convert a multi-dimensional image into the one dimensional image. It is the first vector quantizer process. So L is the dimensions. If R is the bit rate, then 2 raised to RL, it is the scalar need to be stored. Also 2 raised to RL scalar distortions calculations are required, because first we need to convert how many bit rate for the compression is required and what are the different dimensions are available for the particular image. Based on that we design our code book. So the solution is to introduce some form of structures in a codebook and also is the quantization process, and for that we are selecting or we are choosing a structures vector quantizer for the efficient codebook design. Disadvantage of structures VQ is inventable loss in a rate distortions performance. But guys, if you implemented a SVQ, then some of the disadvantage is part of the implementation of SVQ, and one of the disadvantage is inventable loss in the rate of distortions, or it's directly affect your data compressions performance. Different type of structures vector quantizer there are the different types. On behalf of different type, we discuss some of them on a particular today's lecture. First one is lattice quantizations, second one is tree structures code, and third one is multi-stage code. So guys, this is the thing which we are part of a structures vector quantizer, and the last one is product code is known as a gain or a shape code. Behalf of 4, we discuss one of the lattice quantizations and a polar and spiral code structures vector quantizer. So let's start with the pyramid vector quantizer. What is a pyramid vector and how it's really helpful to design a codebook. Fisher introduced a pyramid vector quantizations for encoding of high frequency subband and prove that in a coding at the high bit rate its perform is close to the source entropy. So guys, pyramid vector quantizations, whenever the question should be asked from the structures vector or the pyramid vector quantization, is completely based on a higher frequency subbands. Means your data should be from the higher frequency subbands. Then for or at that time we are using a pyramid vector quantizer for the efficient codebook design, and they can prove also the performance is very high compared with your source entropy. Pyramid vector quantizer or PVQ take its name from the geometric shape of the point in this codebook, and how they can gain the name pyramid due to the designing of a codebook, and how they can look like same like a pyramid. PVQ uses the lattice point of a pyramidal shape in a multi-dimensional space as the quantizer codebook. So guys, when we implemented a PVQ, at that time there are no need for the initial process to conversions of multi-dimensional image into one-dimensional image. So it is one of the best advantage to implement a PVQ in behalf of a multi-dimensional image, because till whatever algorithm we discuss, first we need to convert a multi-dimensional image into the one-dimensionals, and then we design a codebook. But if you have reduced the number of time complexity, then we are using a PVQ, and this is the advantage of PVQ to implement to reduce a number of steps to conversion process for multi-dimensional image to the one-dimensional image. So steps in a PVQ, or we can say pyramid vector quantization. First step, we need to find the value. Second step, this value is called as gain and quantized and transmitted to the receivers. So it is the simply to implement and easy to executions for the pyramid vector quantizer. No need to conversions, no need to find out the average value, decision boundaries, as well as a mean squared quantizations error. Third things, the input is normalized by the gain and called the shape, which is gained by the step number 2, and the shape is quantized using a single hyperpyramid. So guys, the completely or heavily depends on the shape, which is completely depends on a pyramid vector quantizer. અને જ્યારે આપણે pyramid vector quantizations implement કરશું, ત્યારે જે આપણે સૌથી પહેલી વેલ્યુ ફાઇન્ડ કરીએ છીએ એને આપણે ગેઇન કહેશું, અને એ જે ગેઇન મળે છે એના ઉપરથી આપણે શેપ ડિઝાઇન કરશું, and shape is nothing but to designing a codebook. 4 steps, a quantizations of shape consist of finding the output point on the hyperpyramid closest to the shape and finding a binary code word for it. So based on a step number 3, if we generate a particular shape with help of GAIN, then just the process of requirement is to define a shape with a particular binary code, and it is the actually process of pyramid vector quantizations. Because on a starting case of lossy data compressions, the main concept of lossy data compression is to define some sets of bit to a single code, and on the same way, on the same concept, first we find out the GAIN with help of some values. Based on again we generate the shape, and according to the shape we assign some binary code. So it is the actual process of lossy data compression. So guys, it is the things which should be defined by the pyramid vector quantization. સૌથી પહેલા શું કરવાનું છે, તમારી પાસે જેટલી પણ અવેલેબલ્સ વેલ્યુ છે એ બધી જ વેલ્યુમાંથી કોઈ એક મિડ પોઈન્ટ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરો કે જે બધાને રિલેટ કરી શકે, અને એને આપણે કહેવાનું છે ગેઇન. એન્ડ બેઝ ઓન ગેપ યુ કેન ડિઝાઇન ધ shape like a pyramid. So the concept of a particular shape with help of this particular GAIN, and based on this particular GAIN and shape you can design some binary code. So whenever any pixels value, any bunch of data should be come under this particular shape, we just directly send this particular binary digit. So on a receiver end they can receive a particular GAIN, and based on GAIN they can find out the shape, and according to shape they generate the nearest value. So it is a very simple and easiest process if we consider it is a very less number of time requirement, as well as we not store a multiple data on our memory. So they can reduce the time complexity as well as a storage capacity. So it is the first algorithm for designing a efficient codebook with help of pyramid vector quantizer. Let's see another algorithm. It is a polar and spherical vector quantizer. The name itself suggests that there are the two shapes, polar and spherical. Based on that we design a codebook. For the Gaussian distributions, on a discussions about different types of model, we discuss the Gaussian distributions. The contours of a constant probability are circle in a two-dimensional and a sphericals or spheres, and the hyperspheres in a 3 and the higher dimensions. So there are the two possibilities. We are using a two-dimensional circle as well as a spheres and the hyperspheres in a 3 higher dimensions. So if your image should be part of a 1 or 2 dimensional, we are using a circle, and after onwards if your dimension should be higher than 2, then we are using a spheres as well as hyperspheres. In a 2 dimensions we can quantize the input vector by the first transforming into the polar coordinates r and theta. So if your source input or an image, it should be part of 2 dimensionals, we require to implement a polar vector quantizer, and based on polar vector quantizer we find out the coordinates which help of r and theta. Then using of r and theta can then be either quantized independently, or we can use the quantized value of r as in the index of quantizer for theta. So for the search we using the r for the specific index value with reference your theta. The former is known as the polar quantizer, the latter an unrestricted polar quantizer. So it should be defined by the either you can go with the polar, or either they can name suggest with the unrestricted polar quantizer. But when we discuss about any quantizer or the unrestricted polar quantizer, we use a r and theta for the 2-dimensional image. So how we can differentiate a polar quantizer and unrestricted polar quantizer? Let's see. The quantizer r and theta are independently scalar quantizer. And what is a scalar? The step size is always be unique for the all input. However, the performance of the polar quantizer is not sufficiently higher than that of a scalar quantizations of the component of 2-dimensional vector. So guys, it is the very simple to understand. If your input is a scalar quantizer, we are using a polar quantizer. But if your data source, it should be not a scalar quantizer or it should be part of a vector quantizer, at that time we are using unrestricted polar quantizer. સો જ્યારે આપણે પોલાર અને સ્પિરિકલ વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝરનો યુઝ કરશું અથવા તો ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરવાની ટ્રાય કરશું, આપણે એક વસ્તુ યાદ રાખવાની છે કે જો આપણી ઇમેજ 1 અને 2 ડાયમેન્શનલ હશે તો આપણે પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝરનો યુઝ કરશું, અને મોર ધેન 2 ડાયમેન્શનલ હશે તો વી આર યુઝિંગ અ સ્પિરિકલ વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર. હવે જ્યારે આપણે પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝરનો યુઝ કરીએ છીએ ત્યારે આપણે બે પેરામીટર ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવાના છે, બે કોર્ડિનેટ્સ ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરવાના છે. એક કોર્ડિનેટનું નામ છે આર અને એક કોર્ડિનેટનું નામ છે થીટા. હવે આર અને થીટાનો યુઝ શું છે? તો આર છે એ ઇન્ડેક્સ વેલ્યુ છે જે તમને સર્ચ કોમ્પ્લેક્સિટીને રિડ્યુસ કરવાનું કામ કરશે, અને થીટા છે એ રિસ્પેક્ટિવ પર્ટિક્યુલર ઇન્ડેક્સની વેલ્યુ છે. પોલાર વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝેશન્સના પણ આપણે બે ટાઈપ્સ પાડી શકીએ છીએ, પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર એન્ડ અનરિસ્ટ્રિક્ટેડ પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર. સો સૌથી પહેલો ક્વેશ્ચન એ થાય કે પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર ક્યારે યુઝ કરવું અથવા તો અનરિસ્ટ્રિક્ટેડ પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર ક્યારે યુઝ કરવું. તો ગાઈઝ, જ્યારે તમારું ઇનપુટ સ્કેલર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર છે એટલે કે સ્ટેપ સાઇઝ શુડ બી અ યુનિક અને સેમ રહેશે ત્યારે તમે પોલાર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર યુઝ કરી શકો છો. જ્યારે તમારી સ્ટેપ સાઇઝ અથવા તો ઇનપુટ ડેટાની લેન્થ સેમ નથી એટલે કે સ્ટેપ સાઇઝ વેરિએશન આવે છે અકોર્ડિંગ ટુ ધ ઇનપુટ, એને આપણે કહી શકીએ વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર. At that time we are using unrestricted polar quantizer. Now see what is a spherical. The unrestricted polar quantizer has a more complex implementation as a quantizations of theta depends on the quantizations of r, because now onwards we know that our input is completely depends or the step size is completely depends upon your input source value. So when a step size should be not fixed one, at that time the implementation of any algorithm is really complex with respect to a scalar value. However, the performance is also somewhat better than the polar quantizer. But as we know that if your complexity of algorithm it should be higher, then the output is also be compare with the scalar it should be better one. So I know the algorithm implementation is higher, but the end of result it should be very efficient or very satisfactory compared with the polar quantizer. The polar quantizer can be extended to the 3 or more dimensional and it is known as a spherical vector quantizer. So it is the things, if we consider as a 2-dimensional image then we are using a polar, and if your dimension should be more than 2 then we are using a spherical. So guys, same way we are discuss on a pyramids, we discuss some of the shape. According to shape we generate some gain value, or we can say a identical value of a particular shape, and when any of the pixels value should be come under the particular shape we directly send some unique records. So same way when we implemented any pyramid vector quantization value, the shape should be come under the pyramid. If your dimension should be less than 2 then we using a polar, and if your dimension should be more than 2 dimensions then we are using a spherical vector quantizer. And guys, I will remind you whatever the algorithm we discussed in last 3 lecture, all the algorithm is part of designing a efficient code book. So you must be remember આપણે જેટલા પણ અલ્ગોરિધમ અત્યારે સ્ટડી કરીએ છીએ અથવા તો પ્રીવિયસ 2 લેક્ચરમાં કર્યા હતા એ બધા જ અલ્ગોરિધમ છે કઈ રીતે તમે એફિશિયન્ટ કોડ બુક ડિઝાઇન કરી શકો. And the last thing, for the unit number 6 for the data compression subject we discuss a lattice vector quantizer, and it is also for the designing efficient code book. So Wiki codebook design using the LBG, Linde-Buzot-Cree algorithm, complicated the quantization process and have no visible structures, and for the disadvantage of LBG we are using a lattice vector quantizer. So the alternative is a lattice point quantization, since we can use it as faster encoding algorithm. So when an example should be come under the question lattice vector quantizer, first you need to mention what is the LBG algorithm, and after the completions of LBG you just mentioned then what was the disadvantage which should be find out in LBG algorithm due to invisibility of structures, and for that we are using the alternative methods for the efficient codebook design is known as a lattice vector quantizer, and it is a really fast compare with the LBG. For a bit rate of n bit per sample and the spatial dimensions v, the number of codebook vector or the equivalency of lattice point used in a 2nv. So what was the disadvantage of LBG algorithm? In LBG, at the time of LBG discussions, we discussed that all the training vector which should be stored in a memory, and for that we require a more number of time as well as larger number of memory space. The equation it should be 2 raised to r into L. For the overcome or for the requirement of a larger memory space to the smaller memory as well as for the reducing time, we are using a lattice vector quantizer. LBG algorithm ની અંદર જે બે પ્રોબ્લેમ હતા, એક તો ટાઈમ વધારે જતો હતો અને બીજું મેમરીની વધારે રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ હતી. એ બે વસ્તુનું સોલ્યુશન્સ કરવા માટે આપણે જે એલ્ગોરિધમ યુઝ કરીએ છીએ અલ્ટરનેટિવ મેથડ્સ, ઇટ ઇઝ નોન એઝ અ લેટિવ વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર ઓર લેટિસ વેક્ટર ક્વોન્ટાઇઝર. અને અહીંયા આપણે કોઈ ડાયમેન્શન્સનો યુઝ નથી કરતા કે નથી આપણે કોઈ ટ્રેનિંગ વેક્ટર્સનો યુઝ કરતા. અહીંયા આપણે શું કરીએ છીએ, આપણને જે બીટ સેમ્પલ મળે છે એટલે કે આપણે જે સ્પેસિફિક સિલેક્ટિવ ટ્રેનિંગ વેક્ટર્સના બીટ લેશું એનો જ યુઝ કરીને આપણે પર્ટિક્યુલર ડાયમેન્શન્સ ઉપર, ઇટ્સ નોન એઝ અ સ્પેશિયલ ડાયમેન્શન, નોટ ફોર ધ L, it is known as a for V, and it is depends on a shape. So we can reduce the time complexity as well as a memory requirement. So I hope you are clear what is the alternative use and why we are using the lattice vector quantizer behalf of LBG, and it is the steps to define a lattice vector quantizer. Each and every shape should be defined a sum of the bits, and for the bits we require a 2 and 2 NV equations, and for that V is the dimensions and S is the bit sample which is defined by the selective training vector. So guys, I hope you are clear which we discuss about a structures vector quantization in introductions. After that we discuss a 3 different method of structures vector quantizer. First one is pyramid vector quantizer, second one is polar and spherical, and the third it is known as a lattice vector quantizer, which is the alternative method of LBG. So I hope you are clear whatever we discuss in a particular unit number 6 as well as the complete series of data compression subject. I hope you are clear, I hope you are enjoyed, and I hope you are gone through all the lectures which should be under the data compressions playlist. Thank you so much.